Mr. Speaker, my question is to the Deputy Premier and the Minister of Health. And frankly, we've been at this for the last couple of months. The Minister knows exactly what I'm going to ask. I know exactly what the Minister will respond. We're talking about equity in Scarborough. So I'm just going to cut to the chase and say Scarborough has not been treated equally or equitably. We're not getting an equitable distribution of vaccines. So I'll start with that today. On April 7th, the Premier announced that essential workers, education workers, and many other factory workers, technically all essential workers, and those living in high-risk communities with with postal codes that are highlighted will have access to vaccines. Many of those postal codes that are high risk are in my community of Scarborough. Yet I'm hearing from education workers, from factory workers, from grocery workers, and many others in my community that they have no idea when and where this rollout will be taking place. We have learned from Scarborough Health Network that the delay in this rollout and the mobile clinics are due to the lack of supply and clear communication from this government. Speaker, why is this government once again failing the most vulnerable people in our province, yet through another poorly planned vaccine rollout? Thank you, Speaker.
And the Minister of Health.
Thank you very much, Speaker. Well, first of all, I would have to say that I disagree with the statement made by the honourable member. Phase 2 of our vaccine rollout is going to be facing older adults, those at risk of serious illness, and those in hotspot areas. We know that COVID-19 has disproportionately affected certain neighbourhoods. We've identified postal codes in different units. In fact, there are 15 postal code areas in Scarborough that have been identified that will be treated as hotspot areas, that will have more pop-up and mobile vaccination centres, as well as those that are available through our booking centre and in our pharmacies. 2 of the locations that are already going to be receiving extra volumes of vaccines are Scarborough North, the Taibu Community Health Centre, and Scarborough South, the Scarborough Centre for Healthier Communities. We are paying attention to those areas that are at higher risk. They are going to be receiving more vaccines. All of the areas in the hotspots will, because we know that if we don't deal with the hotspot areas, that risk of transmission is going to increase. So the healthier the people are in those communities, the healthier people will be across the entire province.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Thank you, Speaker. And I want to get the facts straight because, for example, Taibu is actually 2 or 3 buses from people living in my community in Scarborough Southwest. So Scarborough is quite large. There are 6 ridings in Scarborough. We have over 650,000 people, and the sad reality is some of the Conservative ridings are having these mobile clinics, and we're left behind. And frankly, all of Scarborough has been delayed than other parts of Ontario. And I want everyone across the province to get vaccine, don't get me wrong. But I want my community, the people who are most vulnerable, to be getting those vaccines as well. We shouldn't be 8 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. People are confused. The websites don't even have any slots available. That's not fair. That's not being treated equitably. Speaker, many in my community are worried sick between not having paid sick days or protection in their workplaces, and unsafe classrooms, families, teachers, workers. Quite frankly, everybody is facing uncertainty regarding their livelihoods, their health. On Friday, we've heard the Premier say Ontario is doing pretty well. Unbelievable. Ontario is called the epicenter of the pandemic in Canada. And for those of us seeing the 3rd wave unfold, that's the reality that I'm not sure what the Premier is facing. Speaker, when will the people of Scarborough, especially those who urgently need to be protected, like essential workers, can rely on the vaccine rollout of this government? And if they cannot give me a date, then please tell us, is there an actual vaccination?
Thank you. And the Minister of Health.